Hi, welcome to Frontiers of Knowledge segment of Dr.Lamba's Awakening Call. I'm amazed how Medicare is developing, giving us new information, building our lives, and ensuring health conditions. Despite this coronavirus issue, the progress has not stopped. North Carolina State University has developed a synthetic cardiac patch. Till now, when there was a damaged tissue and heart attack, it used to be repaired by surgery. But now, there is a synthetic cardiac patch and it can help repair damaged tissue from an heart attack. And this patch, which uses a combination of decellularized pig heart tissue and synthetic cardiac cells, increases cardiac functions by 50%. Not only that, it reduces scarring by 30%. So reduction of scarring by 30% ensures longer acceptance, longer life, healthier heart. But then the question might arise, why synthetic? Why not 100% pig heart tissue? And the reason is that they're using liver cells, the living cells in such patches. If they are used 100%, would result in tumors and immune system rejection from the heart attack patient. So, to prevent the possibility of tumors developing, to prevent the rejection of the tissue by the immune system, these researchers in North Carolina State University developed synthetic heart. And this is going to be a heaven sent opportunity and benefit for the patients of the heart trouble to recover and lead a healthy life. But is health the only thing? Mental health is yet another case where human beings are disturbed, especially in these days of enforced isolation. Mental health issues are likely to increase much further. And I can tell you that if this enforced lockdowns continue, your psychiatric wards would be full of mentally ill patients. But here comes a new development. Till now, we have been hearing every day that music can give you mental health, can boost your mental health. But now comes a research which shows that DMT, dance movement therapy, is an ideal way of restoring mental balance and improving mental health. When you are locked indoor, you cannot go out for a walk, but you have to keep your body moving. And when you keep the movement of body in close connectivity with a dance, then you promote insight, you promote integration, and you promote well being. And this research is based on the brain's ability to regulate emotions via changes in the body postures and movements. What they have been talking about yoga is essentially a derivative of that. And this new treatment, DMT they call it, has been very effective. And not only does it restore your mental health, it is extremely useful for the patient suffering from depression, suffering from Alzheimer's, and suffering from Parkinson's disease. Have you ever noticed that children always keep on dancing? Then why do we stop dancing when we are grown up? Why do we disconnect and alienate ourselves from the body. And as a matter of which is surprising that DMT, dance movement therapy, is not more popular within the fields of the psychology and psychotherapy globally. Now you have to understand the body in motion. It's not mere dancing. DMT, dance movement therapy, does not include only dancing. It uses dance and movements so that it diminishes undesirable symptoms in various clinical populations. Unlike mainstream talk therapies, DMT uses the entire body to approach the client primarily on a non-verbal and creative level. The body in motion is both a medium and a message, and DMT recognizes that moving body as the center of the human experience, and the body and the mind are in constant reciprocal interaction. And this constant reciprocal interaction is conducive to the mental health. But just like the traditional psychotherapies, DMT can be applied in major ways. It may involve talking, different types of music, or even no music at all. It can be done in groups with individuals, but with couples. And then they say dancing, when it involves couples or a group of more than two, is much more effective. This session may involve warm up and check in to see where we are emotionally, mentally, and physically. And this session would be followed by development of a theme which emerges spontaneously or has been prepared specifically with a group in mind. And all this is done with our bodies either in motion or in stillness, but some verbal sharing, journaling, drawing, and other elements may be added. And this has been observed for the last few weeks, and it has seen that it's extremely useful for well designed work and sporting benefits of dance and DMT on emotional regulation, cognitive functions, and neural plasticity are huge. And as I said earlier, people suffering from Parkinson's have shown a visible improvement. In other words, what I want to say is that it requires substantial physical and cognitive engagement. So it can improve not only the muscle tone, the strength of the muscle, but also the balance and the coordination, and also the memory and attention of visuospatial processing. That's the most important part. And not only that, it changes your brain structure. That is something amazing. That your dance movement, properly coordinated, change your brain structure as well, and then new possibilities of feeling and perceiving. I'm really amazed at this therapy, and I think since this is non-invasive and it can have no harmful effect, doctors the world over should use this therapy. And then let's come to the new fields. Are you aware that power producing crystals, which are transparent, can create invisible robots and self powered touch screens of your computers, laptops, TVs? Hit a crystalline material with a jolt of electricity and they'll change shape. Squeeze them and they'll give you a shock. So, these piezoelectrics have been used for decades in ultrasound medical imaging, where the materials are so sensitive that they can make up the motion of sound wave moving through the bone tissue. But now the scientists have come up with a simple new way. So these new piezoelectrics are made of myriad tiny crystals or single crystals of a variety of materials, including ceramics and polymers. So there's a mix of atoms which arrange themselves in simple crystalline unit, and typically the size of a handful of event is so small that they can be placed on a needle head. And if we look at it, this piezoelectric would enable us to be used not only in electronics and touch screens, but cigarette lighters, push button ignition switches on the cars, barbecues, precision motors, or scanning force microscopes. Wow, the uses are endless. But then we are hearing every day that we are in for a recession. There was news today only that in India they are going to waste 7 million jobs. In Canada, again, it's going to be 35% of the labor force which is going to lose jobs. Recession is around the corner. So, which are the jobs of the future which people should aim at? According to the World Economic Forum, the jobs of tomorrow, the emerging jobs are for the next year, 37% of the projected jobs would be in care economy, 17% would be in sales, marketing, and content, 16% would be in data and artificial intelligence, 12% would be in cloud computing, and 8% would be in people and culture, medical specialists, transcriptions, artificial intelligence specialists, data scientists, customer service specialists, stack engineers. These are the jobs of the future. So, if you are looking for a good job, go in for these disciplines. And this is especially useful for the young people who are going to graduate shortly. And before I end, I must give you a very, very interesting development. Do you know that people normally prefer sweet potatoes to potatoes because they have no carbohydrate? And this sweet potato is the only plant which sends secret signals. As a matter of fact, this is very useful for keeping pests, the insects, at a distance. When nibbled, eaten, the leaves of one type of sweet potato release a strong smelling chemical, warning others to leave other leaves of the same plant and those nearby. So a defense protein is produced that makes them hard to digest, and horrible smell is produced which you may not be able to smell, but the pests and the insects can. It's a sort of a shortcut, says Axel Mitterford, a plant ecologist at the Max Planck University in Germany. So it's a chemical warning system that prompts neighbors to prepare for attack. But individual leaves often wait to be manufactured defensive compounds. To investigate this response, the scientists released caterpillars on the pest resistant sweet potato. And it was seen that if the same synthetic produced material is sprayed on other crops like wheat and rice, vegetables and the fruits, the damage from the insects would be negligible. As a matter of fact, it can be nil. Each plant exhaled at least 40 chemicals when attacked, and the amount of a compound called DMNT is an extremely important part of plant defense responses. According to these scientists, the same can also be used by the human beings to protect themselves from the flies, wasps, hornets, and mosquitoes. Wow, these new developments are really awesome. And more we'll discuss next week when we meet at the same time. Thank you.